Everybody, Rich Lang here with Prep You Outside the Bunker in the family room, all ready to bring you the very first Prep You's Thursday tip from the range, or range training tip. So we kind of went over this a little bit on Sunday with the weekly update that we changed our format a little bit, and of course Tuesdays you all saw that we had the prepping tip of the week. It was the hurricanes and tornadoes and flooding. I hope you took a look at that. Probably a good idea to check it out. But this is Thursday's tips from the range. We're going to do this every Thursday, give you something new. Disclaimer time. All right, I'm going to read this straight out. Glasses are all messed up. What we discuss on Thursdays does not take the place of taking an actual training course. Class, anywhere from beginners to advanced. This is just something for you to think about next time you go to the range, something to try, give it a shot. It's just over 4 years of being a range safety officer, things that I've seen that people do or don't do at the range. And these things might just help you out, might have you have a little bit more fun and go away thinking, God, I didn't waste a whole bunch of ammo this week not hitting the target, or gosh, I really had fun, or next week I'm bringing so-and-so and I'm just going to show him how much better I am than him and have some fun while doing it and maybe win a dinner off of him or her. But anyhow, enough said about that. Let's get right into this week's Thursday range tip of the week. Kind of got two of them. I want to go back to what we discussed on Sunday. I want to talk about the dry fire training. Dry fire training is so important. Again, today at the range, I used this several times with people. You can do this at home. You can do this at the range. I had some great things here I wanted to show you. One great thing, I have these dry fire training playing cards. I have no idea what I did with them. I had them last week. I was actually going through some of them because it's a nice deck, and I like to flip the deck, and it shows you different things to do, different ways to try things. Dry fire training. But those of you that don't know about dry fire training, obviously it's using your firearm without an actual bullet in it. And these cute little things, these are called snap caps. They come in all calibers. They come in packages of 5. They go in your magazine, and then you can rack them, and you can fire just like you normally would. And then the next one will come in. Just because I don't want to get into the whole firearm thing, because I'm not really talking about specific firearms and stuff, I'm probably never going to actually show a firearm at all. I use my hand like I will today. Just personal preference. You guys all know what pistols and rifles and stuff like that looks like, and revolvers, so we're not going to get into that. But dry fire training cards, if you can find them, I'm sure you can find them on Amazon. It just gives you different ideas, different things to try. Snap caps are a must. You can dry fire a little bit with today's modern pistols. You don't want to do it too much. You don't want to do it a lot. It's just because you don't want your firing pin traveling full distance and not hitting anything. I know guys will tell you, it's no big deal anymore. I just don't like to take the chance. I also like, you can also use these snap caps. Try this sometimes when you go to the range. Here's another tip, third tip of the day. Load your magazines ahead of time. Slip a snap cap in it in different places and don't pay any attention to it. That's gonna make you train like, oh my gosh, I have a bad bullet and I gotta rack through, but you know, keep those magazines off to the side specifically for that. Don't get cut like, what the heck, now what's wrong with my firearm? But anyhow, little sidebar. Anyhow, back to this. So yeah, for shooting at home, dry fire training at home, just your firearm and snap caps, and have fun. If it drives your significant other crazy, that's even better. It does mine. And then at the range, I don't use snap caps at the range because I'm not dry firing that often. And yes, I still do. After 53 years of shooting, I still dry fire for several reasons, which we'll get into. Right now. Why dry fire? Dry fire, it's the best way to watch the action of your pistol when you pull the trigger. We all know that your trigger goes in that middle of that first joint, and your first knuckle goes way out. So you're actually pulling, can you see that? straight back, all right? But dry firing, you may find that you're pulling down, pulling up, pulling off to the side. It just, you know, whatever your reactions are. So dry fire, you'll see that right off the bat. Maybe you don't do it all the time, so that's why when I get to the range, I dry fire, you know, 14, 15 times until I'm comfortable, which brings up point 2, to relax before you're shooting at the range. You're in there, your adrenaline's going, man, you are so happy to be there. You can leave life behind. You've got your own little lane, and you and your friend, you're ready to shoot, and you just went through 20 rounds, you didn't hit a damn thing because you were breaking your wrist, or you had too much trigger pull, or you didn't have enough trigger pull, or whatever. Dry firing will let you calm down, bring your heartbeat down, relax, get into that mood to shoot. And it'll also show you what you're doing with your firearm. It'll bring back ideas, what you shouldn't do. Reason 3 to dry fire, especially if you're renting a pistol. When you rent a new pistol, do you know how many pounds of pull that trigger is? Do you know how far that trigger pull is? You don't want to do it with a live round. Take that pistol that you are renting, or revolver, and shoot it a couple of times, dry fire, all right? You'll get to know the pound pull, and you'll also get to know the trigger pull, the length on the pull, and then when you do put live rounds in there, you won't be surprised. You'll know about where it's at. And also, you may be also doing strange things with a different pistol just because of the grip. So think about that. Dry fire, especially if you're renting or you're using a buddy's pistol. Say, hey, don't load it. They shouldn't load it anyhow. You should be loading it. But check it out. Pound pull, trigger length. What are you doing with the tip of that pistol? What's going on with it? So those are reasons. I mean, I see frustration every day at the range. I see in a target where, let's use a target. We use this target for now. Where a target, they're supposed to be hitting here, and they're all here. Or they're all here. Or they're all up here. And the frustration on them is unbelievable. I do step in a lot of times, and because I can see that they're frustrated, not having a good time, and that's not what the range is all about. It's to go have a good time and relax. I get a lot of smiles and a lot of thank yous after they figure out what they're doing. And a lot of them correct right away, which is really important to see some kind of improvement. I do not approach couples, especially if it's the guy having the problem, unless they ask me. It's also a great way to meet people. I mean, if you're a really good shooter and you see somebody having problems, help them out. RSOs don't really have a lot of time to help them out. Help them out. Girls, guys, it's a great way to meet cute whatever, you know. Whatever floats your boat, it's a great way to meet them. You know, a lot of people come to me and say, what am I doing wrong? And that's an open invitation to help them dry fire. So dry fire training is really important. So the reasons are to see what your trigger, when you pull the trigger, what the front of your pistol is doing. 2, relax, take it easy. And 3, understand pound pullage and length of your trigger pull. Real quick, one other thing we're going to talk about in this Thursday, it's kind of a double feature, target accuracy. Let me just say this. If you can't hit a target consistently at 3 to 5 yards, why the hell are you shooting at 30 and expecting to be better? You need to train for consistency and accuracy. And by what I mean by that is you need to start close, 3 to 5 yards. And start with this. Get it in the large target. All right, you're putting 30 rounds in the range large target. Hey, you've gone to the smaller target. Now you're getting 30 in there. Fantastic. Now you go to one of my favorite sheets right there. Now you are consistently at 3 yards hitting every single one. You got that taken care of. Then you get these little peely things, which are, the little black dots. You can use that, which is kind of really the same thing as this, but hey, get one of these and put it in and just make copies. Then go to something smaller, and then what I like to do, which is a lot of fun, if I can get this thing figured out, little strips of Post-it and put it up on a target and shoot at that and cut them in half. When you get consistent accuracy at 3 yards, go to 5. When you're consistent at 5, go to 7. When you're consistent at 7, go to 10. It just only makes sense. It'll be a lot more fun for you to do that. You know, something as you go further out, if you're shooting with a conceal size pistol, the farther out you go, the more impossible it might be to be as accurate as you want to be. It just comes with time. Full-size pistols, it's a lot easier to become more accurate. And if you're smart, you'll do it with a 22 and save tons of money, especially now. Now, does that mean that you have to do that the entire time you're at the range? No, absolutely not. Have some fun. Send the target out further. Make some bets with your shooting buddy or partner, and say, hey, I bet I can get, you know, better numbers, and use a larger target. You can get larger targets than this, you know, at the range, and just have fun with it, you know. But every time you're at the range, some of your time should be done with accuracy training, even if you're with somebody else. Muscle memory is 2,500 times of doing the same thing, and your brain finally kicks in and figures it out, you know. But something I also want to talk about is target distance and your height. All right, we all know that the range has a rail system, and there's a pulley, either cable or whatever on it. And if you're shorter and your target's closer and your pistol's like this, you're going to shoot up through your target the closer it is, and you're going to go into that rail system and the pulley system, and you're going to shoot it out. It happens every week, constantly, you know, 2-3 times a week. We lose a lane because of that. When you shoot, just like in anything other situation, you have to know what's beyond your target. So pay attention, see what you're doing. If you're on the ends and you're using this little thing, these 3 little targets like this, and you're right-handed and the wall's here, make sure you're not shooting through this and into the wall. If you're left-handed and the wall's on your right, same thing. Don't shoot through this and hit the wall. Range safety officers do not like that, and they'll kick your butt out right away. Also, back to the 30-yard thing. I know in the state of Illinois and many other states, the legal distance to technically protect yourself or feel threatened is 21 feet. Don't practice with your firearms any more than 21 feet unless you're just having fun, because you are going to get in a lot of trouble if you're shooting somebody in the back as they're running away, or if they've disengaged, or if they're further out than 21 feet. So just remember that too, you know, legally, and get, you know, if you're a concealed carry person, get some insurance. So that's it. We talked about target accuracy. It's a lot of things to think about there. Also, we talked about this does not take the place of actual hands-on training with an instructor or someone that knows you, and someone that can be at the range with you. That's extremely important. So take those classes, get better, get proficient. There's all kinds of really cool classes. And dry fire training, I find dry fire training is probably some of the best training you can actually do to figure out what you're doing and how to correct it. So that's it for this week. Our first Thursday range tip of the week is a little bit longer than normal because we did 2 things. I wanted to touch on 2 things. But like we end all our videos, be aware of your surroundings no matter where you're at all the time. Keep your eye to the sky, keep your feet on the ground, and walk with a purpose, even if you have no idea where you're going. Makes you less of a target. Also, make sure you have enough supplies with you for 72 hours. That's take with supplies. That's basically what 72 hours are good for. Or up to 30 days and beyond if you're sheltering in place or need to shelter in place, or you can't get out. And prep like your life depends on it, people, because you know it really does. Thanks a lot. Take care. We'll have more of this next week. Bye. Dang it.